Hi all, since the May June update we've made a lot of progress on the macro. Just wanted to share with you some of the details of the production and development that we've been added to. I'd also like to quickly mention some of the stuff we're doing to increase communication and resolve some of the issues we've had with sending updates, and how we're going to ensure that we can connect with you and give you more details in the coming months. So we've also made some improvements to the casing, and we run some tests on that. In order to test the strength and durability of the device, we've actually been running it over with my motorbike. And the reason we've done that is just to have kind of like a back of the envelope structural integrity. We could just keep dropping it off the bench, but then we figured the motorbike would be kind of more cooler way to test the strength under load and under impact. So I'll just show you the first one, which was 4 months ago. And then we move to the second version, which is shown in this next clip. Now this second version that you're seeing here is a combination of both Onyx and Delrin. The reason both Onyx and Delrin and two different types of plastics work so well is because they both supplement each other's flaws. Moving forward from that, we will be joining it both in just Delrin, because we've been experiencing some problems with the 3D printer that I'll talk about in a little bit. And this is primarily just to keep all parts as one. It won't impact the strength and structural integrity of it. We've been testing that out too. So you won't have a combination of 3D printed and CNC parts. We'll most likely have most CNC parts, which I've been starting to do. And it's primarily because we've been having these issues with the printer not being able to complete with the resolution required with the current setup that I have, and it's either I spend time trying to fix the setup of the printer, or I just redesign in a known manufacturing process that we know, which is the CNC, because we've got the CNC set up and we can run it pretty well, and it's quite repeatable. So we're going to be setting up in the CNC from now on just to ensure that repeatability process is in place. The major thing we've changed in the past 6 months is the quality of the sound, and sound is an important aspect for all of our lives. If we were to send something with a bad sound out, then we just wouldn't be happy, and we wouldn't be happy with the quality that we supplied to you. So I'll just show you 3 samples that we've made over the past 6 months. This first one is from 6 months ago. And this second one was from about 3 to 4 months ago.
1, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
And this last one, once we finally got all the tests up and running, we've changed the PCB over again. We ran the test, and Yuma and I both looked at each other and said, yeah, this is kind of like the level of quality that we want. You don't hear the, I'll talk about it after the video.
1 millimeter.
So you don't hear that coarseness of the sound, you hear a crisp, smooth quality audio coming out of the device. And those iterations we've just been swapping out the sound module. So just out of interest, these are the actual blocks that we'll be seeing the macaron out of. As you can see, this one here actually has the macaron parts drilled out. Basically, it's a solid sheet, like a 21mm thick sheet of say 200mm by 200mm plastic or Delrin. And you get the CNC machine and you drill in one half, and then you flip it over and you drill in the other. And we've made like these small little guiding holes just to make sure that the rigidity and accuracy, once you flip it over, is quite accurate. I played around a little bit with that to make sure that it was as accurate as possible once you flipped it over, because if it's not accurate when you flip it over and it's kind of off-centered by, say, a millimeter one direction, then you kind of get this lopsided effect, which is like if you put your hands together and then you moved one forward like, a millimeter, and if you looked at it on one side, you'd see kind of like a small little fingers sticking out of the other side of the finger. The overall quality of the part would deteriorate if you allowed that much slippage. So we've finished that. The final parts of this design right now, which I should be finishing up in the next couple of weeks, is to finish the changes from the 3D printed version over to the CNC version. and that will reduce the component count and allow us to have all parts kind of in one accurate block. So I've got 10 PCBs tagged and tested here. They're ready to go, they're ready to be inserted into the mechanicals that I was talking about before after those changes are made. I've got 5 extra PCBs on top of these 10 ready to be fitted with their components. I've got all the components enough for 15. And I noticed one thing while I was going through the final checks with this PCB, which I'm a little bit disappointed about, and that is there was a battery error. The amount of charge that will be available in the battery will be about 70% of what we've started off with. And the reasoning is that our power converter, so our device that converts the battery power with a higher voltage to the microcontroller power of a lower voltage, has started to deteriorate. I'm not sure of the reasoning why this is, but basically once it hits a certain threshold, it starts to tank really, really badly. Now, ideally, all power converters shouldn't do this, and why this is happening in this device particularly, I'm not sure. I'm going to be swapping it out for a different kind of power converter, and that is going to be another PCB revision. We're not satisfied with these 10 units, and we're going to be sending them out as pre-production, which kind of just means that you'll get this device and you'll get another device replaced with this version. And the reasoning that is because we don't want to deliver anything but the best quality to you guys, and I don't think delivering you something with 70% battery power availability is ethical or just good to do. I think that we need to be delivering to you guys the best quality that we can, and I don't think this is the best quality that we can be delivering. One thing that I will say though is I will be outsourcing the manufacturing of the PCBs this time. I spent maybe 3 weekends in a row or 4 weekends in a row, something ridiculous, trying to put these PCBs together and make sure that all the components didn't have shorts, and double checking and going through and making doing the kind of the quality assurance of it all. And I would much rather be spending my time to make sure that the software is upgraded. We'll keep the CNC because we've noticed the CNC is quite accurate, and we can keep doing the CNC in store, in-house. And in the future, we will probably, like in the next 6 months or so, we will try to look to getting a machine to do the PCBAs, so we can have the quick value of doing it in-house, as well as the time saving of not having to sit here and kind of hand solder PCBs. And we will do that in, let's say, the 6 months and beyond, but for the next 6 months we're just going to be outsourcing them to get them made somewhere else. So just to sum up the plan, I'll be changing those CNC casing pieces over from the 3D printed versions. We'll be sending these out, these 10 units out. We'll be assembling 10 mechanical and 10 PCBs out and sending it all out, and that they should work fine. I don't foresee any more issues in that regard, because most of the other stuff is tried and tested, and we've come to a level of happiness with. So at the moment it's just about finishing off the changes from the 3D printing and sending these units out as quick as we can, because we know you guys have been excited for receiving them, and once you guys receive them, we'll start trying to do some feedback of software to make sure that the software is up to as good as a quality as we've got, say, Astrius or. So I just wanted to talk for a little bit about the origins of Osiris and how Osiris started. Yuma and I met at a gas station like 5, 6, 7 years ago or something like that, and we bonded so well together because we would bounce these ideas about technology and problems in the world back and forth between each other, and we'd come up with solutions to try to solve it. So for the longest time we've had this relationship where both Yuma and I would just make sure the ideas are what is most important. So we constantly bounce ideas back and forth between each other, and we think it's a really good quality to have between two people, and many people actually. And it's something that we've been thinking about how to bring that dynamic of just having ideas bouncing back and forth between people to you guys. And so what we're going to do is we've created a Discord, and you can join the Discord. We'll be sitting there working, so every time that we're working on this stuff for Osiris, we'll be sitting there in a room, and you should be able to just come and go as you please. It'll be like it'll be kind of somewhat like an office, but where people can just walk in and out and just ask questions, or just come talk about what you're working on, or come to ask questions about the Macron and how far it's coming along. And the other thing I wanted to mention is another problem we're solving. Some of you haven't actually been receiving the emails that we've been sending out. This is due to, or we think this is due to, MailChimp being automatically put to spam. So we're going to be creating a custom email called macron@osiris.com. And we'll be sending the updates straight off of that email through no provider. So sorry if they look a little bit unpolished, but we'll try to get as much quality into those emails as possible. And if you reply to those emails, they'll be sent directly to us. There shouldn't be any issue in us receiving it. So, and I personally may take a while to respond, like a couple of weeks, or like a week or a couple of days. I may respond instantly. I'll be setting up the notifications on my phone. I promise you, I will. Even though it may take a while to respond, I promise you I will respond. I believe we're in the home stretch for this stuff, and I look forward to starting to create rapid software iterations. That's when communication with you guys is the most important. While we're doing hardware, while we're trying to finish off the bugs in the hardware, it becomes very isolated because we just need to focus and get the hardware done. And as we get these 10 units out, we'll be starting to talk to you guys a lot quicker to get kind of the rapid software iterations. Just as an example, someone had asked me to instead of representing the angles as degrees, we started to represent it as a ratio, so like 1:14, and it's used a lot in wheelchair ramp design, but it probably used in a lot of other places. So, and I was able to build that software within half a day. It was something exciting to put together because it's something that someone asked for, and I can just put it in like that. So we really look forward to reaching a point where you guys have these devices in your hand and you're able to just receive the updates from us from a constant stream, be able to talk to us on Discord, and we look forward to connecting with you on that platform or any other platform soon.